And today we're taking a look at every single ball, from Hammer at least, that came out with HK22C² Solid. Now, this sounds like a kind of a very niche video to make, and to be honest, it is. But the fact of the matter is, Hammer is one of the most popular brands in bowling right now. And a lot of people are going to be looking at their equipment for what to get. And whenever they have a bunch of bowling balls with the exact same cover and the only difference is the cores, well, I think it's worth taking a look at them, especially when I have them all, and kind of just seeing what the difference is. Set on the lanes, and we're going to start with the fallout. Here we are with the fallout, and honestly, this may be my favorite out of the bunch, which is kind of crazy to say considering how much I liked the other two. To me, this one is kind of in between. It's weaker than both. I will go ahead and say that off the bat. It's weaker than both of the ASIMs, but shape-wise it's kind of in the middle. It's very, very controllable, which is something, of course, that we all like to see. But it can also shape the lane pretty well. It can cover a lot of boards if you need to. It's a very versatile piece, and honestly, whenever I'm throwing it, unless I just get it super slow, or I just really, really grab it, or I just get it down to the friction super early, I feel like I can't miss the pocket with it. Like it's always there. It's a very good bridge piece. It kind of lives in where the stealth mode lived for a while, on being the stronger symmetric solid piece. That it was definitely stronger than both the GB5 and the Hammerhead. And I'll actually dive into that a little bit and say that if you really liked the Hammerhead, this is not a replacement for it. It is a different option that is stronger, but does kind of fit in the same slot idea of the stronger symmetric ball. But it is definitely not a dead replacement for it. Hopefully we get something like that here soon. I love the original Scorpion core with Simtex Solid on it or something like that. Just, yeah, it's going to be a little bit weaker than these, but just, something like in that idea would be great. But as you can tell, it's just like it's boomy, but it's not so boomy that it's uncontrollable, and it's not so easy down the lane that it doesn't hook, but it's not so early that you're forcing it down the lane. It's just a very versatile piece, and I'm a big fan of mine. Like I said, it's my favorite of the bunch. I'm looking forward to throwing it in League, actually, which I have tried with the other two, but I wouldn't keep going with the other two. Alright, Zero Mercy is the most dynamic ball with plenty of traction that I have ever thrown. Period. End of story. No real discussion here. It's just the dynamics of the core plus the traction that cover gets is just so insane in motion that it's the most hooking ball I've ever thrown, and I'm not complaining about it. This is surprisingly usable, because yes, it hooks, but like that shape is a very usable shape. It doesn't even look half bad on this house shot that I'm testing these on. Should have mentioned before, everything's at the same surface. It's just 2K with a little bit of lane shine on it from just, you know, various use. This one did require me to actually keep it a little bit closer to the pocket to keep it from overhooking. Just because that core really wants to turn over when it sees the friction. If I got it out too far, it would do it too much. It would just hook too much. Or I even, for the first time I've ever thrown it and had it happen, it overhooked on me, or sorry, it locked up on me. And that doesn't happen very often for me. But, I mean, as you can see here, it was just a super usable piece on this house shot. It looked good. Biggest looking bow in bowling, most dynamic of the three. Then we get to the spawn, and the spawn's an odd one. It is definitely the least dynamic of the three, meaning on the back end, the core is not trying to get it to keep going as much. For me, it's actually a fairly forward ball. And why whenever like I first was throwing it and like was talking to people about it, the NV Tour comparison came up a lot. I'm probably actually going to make that video one of these days. I have a buddy who keeps asking. And while I throw them separately on similar conditions, I need to throw them back to back. And as you can see, it just kind of rolls. It's not trying, and like that's what's causing the angle issues here. Where I was playing with the other two, because I tried to play in very similar areas so we can get a true comparison here. Where I was playing isn't working because the ball is trying to roll, it's trying to be smooth, and me trying to use the cover to get it to shape a little bit more just isn't very productive for good ball reaction. And that, like, it's as simple as that, which is causing some of these issues where like the ball just isn't making it back to the pocket, which is, you know, for as strong as this cover is, that's an issue. At some point, I think it's right here, I actually moved right, like a good bit right, and just kind of roll the ball a little bit more, try to let it be smooth, and it works out really, really well for the ball reaction. And like that's the big difference for this one. This one wants to be more forward, it wants to roll more, it wants to be more controllable. It's more of a tournament ball. So yeah, that's kind of how I separate them. The Fallout is a really good kind of big symmetric kind of semi-benchmarky piece. Honestly, it's a little bit high for a benchmark for me. That's what my alert will be for. This is my new one. It's going pinned up, my old one's been down. Same way it's going to go on the warning alert. But it's a little bit stronger than that, but that's good because sometimes you want that kind of difference there. The Zero Mercy Solid is just, if you just need hook. If you need hook and you need a core that's going to want to turn over in a very dynamic way and keep hooking, go for the Zero Mercy Solid. If you throw the ball like me, if you're rev dominant, don't have a ton of speed, and have a good bit of revs, don't get the Zero Mercy Solid. That's like, I'm legitimately saying you probably don't need it unless you're bowling on a flood every single week. The Spawn, a little bit of a different story. Because of what my spawn does, and granted my layout is playing a factor in this because I've talked to some people and some people say it has a little bit more ass than mine does. If you throw like me, then go for a smaller drilling angle. Mine's 25 by 4.5 by 25, and I drilled that because I wanted to throw it on sport shots. And I wanted to like roll forward. I wanted what I got out of it. I expected what I got out of it. And if you do something like that, get the Spawn, it's gonna roll great. I have seen some people with some larger drilling angles and it's still really good. Still really good ball, more controllable than the Zero Mercy, but it is a little bit more dynamic. And if that's what you're wanting, go for that. Spawn's a little bit easier, is Fallout's the easiest to recommend, followed by the Spawn pretty closely behind it. The Zero Mercy has a little bit more caveats. It's extremely fun to throw, and it's an extremely good ball, but a lot more people will not need it. And a lot of people are going to have a hard time with it if they don't have the right conditions out. So just be aware of that. The Spawn's a little bit easier to get away with, even with it being asymmetric, because the core is more forward, a little bit more, it's a little bit more tame. And of course, Fallout's good. Anyways, let me know if you liked this video. Let me know if I made any sense. I hope I did. If I didn't, let me know. Let me know what I can do better. We can always keep growing. Anyways, I've been Keegan. And see you all in the next one.